Good afternoon. Today, I'm here with my guest, Dr. Jeff Pettey, who is the Co-Medical Director of Global Outreach Division, Vice Chair of Education, Residency Program Director, and Associate Professor of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences at the University of Utah Moran Eye Center. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome, everyone. You participated in the first publication of HelpMeSee called TCC-PASTE, evaluating the results of simulation-based training in novice surgeons. How do you find this study applicable and useful for trainees or surgeons moving forward?
Yeah, this is a really brilliant study, very thoughtful design. Again, taking a group of novice surgeons, and these are again, these trainees are at training sites with existing programs to help them get up to speed in sutureless extracap. And the control group versus the experimental groups simply was, in addition to what you already do, your normal kind of training curriculum, now a group of you are going to go through the small incision virtual reality training simulation, and then simply looked at outcomes and complications, and it cut it in half. I mean, from serious significant complications to more minor complications, it cut all of them in half. And that is a really, really significant number when you think about the learning curve for surgeons going through and how a single serious complication can potentially cause a bad outcome for a patient, and then also can significantly lengthen the amount of time that a trainee has to complete a surgery, pull an attending surgeon over to help complete the surgery, etc. Again, the idea that you can really, really dramatically shorten this learning curve for individuals, and not just shorten the curve, but make it safer along the way. None of us ever want complications for patients, and this is a clear indication that this is a way to decrease complications in that learning curve.
What other type of studies should HelpMeSee conduct that would generate the evidence needed to prove that M6 is at least equal to phaco emulsification in many cases, and for simulation-based training in general?
Yeah, so thinking if I could design something, again, we're not going to talk about how possible it is, but just design anything. It would be head-to-head outcomes for the surgeon's actual skill set. So one of the early beautiful studies was David Cheng and Sandak Ruit in Nepal, and this was manual small incision, and David Cheng was doing phaco, and the results were really interesting. The early visual acuities tended to favor the small incision cataract surgery. Of course, the corneas were clearer early in that time frame, and then as time went on, the visual outcomes tended to kind of become equivalent. Complications were roughly equivalent. There have been a number of these studies done, but if you could potentially do something prospective, large scale, across multiple countries, and then across multiple skill sets, meaning someone who's an expert in one, expert in the other, someone who perhaps is an expert phaco surgeon, and then maybe more of an early advanced learner in small incision cataract surgery, that would really be the one way that you could show that absolutely there are patients that it is better for and more appropriate to have one versus the other, depending again on where that skill level is for the individual surgeon. As far as simulation goes, we do need additional studies showing the overall shortening of the learning curve. We need that done at multiple sites throughout the world, and then also looking at visual outcomes, not just complication rates, but the ultimate visual outcomes for these individuals at 6 months, 12 months. And that will just take time, it will take coordination, but those are the kind of studies that can really push this to the forefront where it will really need to be in order to train the number of surgeons we need to across the world.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Eye in 5. We hope you will join us next time as we continue to unite partners and like-minded individuals who are working to bring hope and the gift of restored sight to millions of people living with cataract blindness. Please be sure to subscribe to Eye in 5 on YouTube and share this podcast with your colleagues.